Welcome to Breaking Bread with Big Red. If you like the content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into this dish. Let Big Red put you on this chicken, steak, and Langostine lobster lasagna rolls. I promise it slaps on the highest of multiple keys. Y'all ready? Alright, so here's the lineup for all of the ingredients that we're going to be using today. Obviously, I'm going to walk you through step by step, but I promise it's not a difficult dish to make. First, we're going to start by preparing our steaks. We use sirloin steaks, and we're going to make sure to coat those with extra virgin olive oil. Now, I like to rub the olive oil in. Make sure to use your hands. That's what soap and water is for, all right? Next, I'm going to season my steak, and I didn't go too crazy. We did use some truffle salt. It's probably the fanciest thing that I used. But we're going to come in next with a little bit of fresh ground black pepper, as well as some dry thyme. Now, in regards to the thyme, I do recommend that you use fresh thyme. Just dry thyme is what I had on hand, but both are going to taste delicious. Make sure you're seasoning on both sides. I made sure to keep my steaks out a little bit to knock the chill out. Next is the chicken. I'm going to generously add some olive oil to a skillet along with some chopped onions. And then I came in with about a pound of chopped up chicken thighs. Now, the reason I use chicken thighs, I believe that chicken breast dries out a little bit faster. Chicken thighs hold a lot more moisture. And the fact that we have to cook this on the stovetop and bake it, I felt like this was the appropriate choice. Now, I season those chicken thighs with black pepper, granulated garlic, some salt, some Cajun seasoning, Tony Chachere's or Slap Your Mama is fine, as well as some paprika. The recipe only needs about 1/4 to 1/2 pound of chicken thighs. However, I felt like it was a great opportunity for me to meal prep for some other dishes later on in the week. If you're a parent, you know anytime you can make more than one meal in one cooking session, that's a win-win. Next, I came in with about a spoonful of minced garlic, and we're just going to make sure to cook that down. Once your chicken is cooked, we're going to go ahead and remove it and use that same pan to start on our Alfredo sauce. We got about 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to come in with 2/3 of a quart of heavy whipping cream. Now look, you need to season your Alfredo sauce. My seasonings are super simple, but it's going to bring a ton of flavor. We're going to come in with some granulated garlic, also some black pepper, as well as about a tablespoon of salt. Now, once you've whisked all of your seasonings in, you want to make sure to bring that heavy whipping cream to a slight simmer. Once you see it start to bubble, we're going to add in about 3 ounces of shaved Parmesan. Now, shameless plug, I love my silicone whisks. I copped them off of Amazon. I used to have metal ones, but they rusted all the time, so these are definitely easier to maintain. They'll be in the description if you're interested. Now onto these steaks, I have a piping hot cast iron skillet. To that, we added in some olive oil, and we're going to sear these on high heat. Remember, your goal should be to get these to medium rare. I made a slight mistake and cooked these to medium well when I was making them, but remember, we have to toss them into the oven, so we don't want to overcook them. But look at that beautiful sear. We're going to make sure that all of these have that nice sear, and again, try to keep your middle as pink as possible. Now, there's an opportunity for you to give these steaks a ton of flavor. You can add in some garlic bulbs if you have those. I already spoke about the fresh thyme, but I was kind of in a rush, so we're just going to baste it with a little bit of butter and call it a day. Now, by the time that I'm actually basting, my heat is on low, if not off. I'm just trying to make sure that this butter is getting into these steaks. Once your steaks are cooked to your preference, go ahead and take these out your cast iron skillet and allow them to rest. Next, we're going to start on our ricotta cheese, however you want to pronounce it. We're just going to season that with some pink Himalayan salt, some fresh ground black pepper, as well as some of those leftover Parmesan cheese flakes that we had. I also chopped up some fresh parsley. We're going to whisk all of those ingredients together well. Just make sure that they're well incorporated. There's one last ingredient when messing with ricotta, and that's going to be your whisked egg. We're just adding in one, that's all you need. I'm going to allow that mixture to sit covered in the fridge while we continue to work on the rest of the dish. I boiled my lasagna noodles for about 10 to 12 minutes, but just follow the directions on the box. Now, by the time we've done all of this, our steak should have had a great time resting. We're going to cut these, and what I was hoping to look for was a nice pink center. You'll see that in there. It's more medium for me. If I would take anything back or change anything, I probably would have made it a little bit more on the medium rare side, but these still came out delicious. Now, I didn't grow up on steak, so all of my steak fans, what's your favorite cut? Go ahead and drop that in the comments. Now, I'm in Georgia, you guys, so we don't get fresh seafood all the time. My Langostine lobster were already pre-cooked, so we just defrosted it as the instructions said and added those to our lasagna rolls. Now for the fun part, we get to build our lasagna rolls. So we're going to start off with a base of ricotta cheese on top of those lasagna noodles. Go ahead and spread that out. Now, I got a little overzealous and overexcited, so I just went ahead and started tossing chicken on there. But the next layer is actually mozzarella cheese. I like the Sargento brand. The closest you can get to fresh mozzarella is going to be my advice for you all, but it tastes amazing to me. All right, so now we can add in the chicken. Sorry, guys, I was too excited. But I like to stagger it because I knew I was going to come behind with some of that steak and that Langostine lobster. When it comes to protein, we don't discriminate. So whether it's chicken, steak, seafood, we putting it down. I will say this, as far as placing the meat and all the extra stuff in your lasagna rolls, just be cognizant that you're going to have to roll all of these bad boys. So don't overstuff it. I think it got easier as I understood how much I was putting in each lasagna roll as we continued to put these together. One more thing to keep note of, you're going to get your hands messy. Now, I got an oven-safe casserole dish. To that casserole dish, we're going to add in that Alfredo sauce that we cooked a little bit earlier. Just a thin layer on the bottom is going to be perfect. As you can see, I just put in a couple of dollops and started to spread that with my ladle. Now, once it's evenly spread, you just come in with your lasagna rolls. My casserole dish was able to hold about 6 of these bad boys, so that's what you'll see. We're going to top each one of these lasagna rolls generously with the leftover Alfredo sauce. I don't like to see any pasta when I'm topping mine. Like, I like these bad boys to be flooded, you dig? But it's up to you. If you're not really rocking with the Alfredo sauce, you can top it as much as you want to, but ain't nothing getting wasted over here. Now, after you are content with how much Alfredo sauce is on top of each one of your lasagna rolls, we're going to go ahead and hit these bad boys with some cheese. And just like I said with the Alfredo sauce, I'm not sparing no cheese either. Like, I'm really about to bury this bad boy in some mozzarella cheese. So, look, do what you do, but my lasagna rolls are definitely going to have as much mozzarella cheese as I could possibly put on it. I'm also that guy at the Olive Garden who never tells them to stop when they tell you to say when with the Parmesan cheese. So, hey, it is what it is. Now, I baked these bad boys for 20 minutes on 400 degrees. I put it in for a little broiling at the end as well. And this is what we came out with. Obviously, I'm going to show you guys how I played it. I came in with a little bit of that Alfredo sauce that we had left over. Gave that a nice little smush. You see that? You see the presentation? Yeah. And then once we have our nice little smears of Alfredo sauce, we're going to come in with those lasagna rolls, and they are gorgeous. You guys, I did go ahead and garnish these with some fresh parsley, so you can go ahead and do the same. If you had dried, it should work as well. Now, y'all know I had to give it a try. Y'all, this dish was so good. Like, I mean, so good. I didn't want to share it. It was only 6 rolls, but I had family in town, so I had to give up some, but this was delicious. Let's pan over this beautiful dish one more time. Look, you all, I really enjoyed cooking this dish. I really enjoyed sharing it with others. Just seeing the smile on people's faces when they're able to enjoy my recipes does so much for me. So thank you. And if you enjoyed my content, make sure you take the time to like, share, and subscribe.